Death Pixie Disclaimer. This video was originally recorded in March and April of 2025. There is swearing and profanity. Sources are listed in the description. This video is not monetized. Any ads you see provide revenue to the hosting site and not the creators. If you made it this far, geez, you have a lot of patience.
Dance Pixie dancing on the lip of madness.
Welcome to Shitty PowerPoint Theater. Dignity not included.
Hello, everybody. This is an addendum, so we're doing a bit differently. So you're seeing an image on the screen and just hearing our delightful voices because it's an addendum.
I don't even know what the image is. I'm pretty sure you do, but I don't.
Yeah, I do know. Okay, so when we originally recorded the first half of this project, because there is a second half, and you will find out more about that at the end of March. You'll find out more about that. We recorded it back in September 2024. A lot has happened since then.
It was a beautiful time.
Yep, when we had hoped.
Joe Biden was president.
Mm-hmm.
You were happy. We were happy. Everyone was happy. Now it's dead.
Yeah. So we have a bit of an addendum because something actually happened at the beginning of 2025 as well, which is Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, announced that it's stepping down, but we're going to say retiring because it's not like he's getting fired or anything like that. He is choosing to step down. And by doing so, that meant that we could kind of solidify our pro-cons list.
Yes.
And we did have some changes to make there. So the first change was withdrawing Canadian air support from the Syrian civil war. That's in both the pros and cons. I did additional research on it, and it really depends on what perspective you take on if it was a pro or a con. So that's in between now. This, another one got moved to pro or con, depending on your perspective. By the way, sorry, I forgot to mention, this is being recorded on March 3rd. 2025. So we'll keep going.
What's going to happen actually in about an hour and 14 minutes, according to the latest threats by President Toddler.
Yep, the Cheeto is back, and boy. So the other one that
Cheeto is back and crustier than ever.
Yeah. So the other one that got moved to being both a pro and a con was in favor of oil and gas pipelines to bring Canadian fossil fuel resources to foreign markets, which, considering the trade war that President Cheeto has started now, turned out to be a really good thing because Justin Trudeau solidified a deal with China, which means that we are no longer beholden unto the U.S. market for exporting.
No. That turns out getting oil to foreign markets, yes, it's got environmental impacts, but it also makes us a little bit less dependent on the Cheeto, which is always a good thing for Canada. I'm sorry, diversification of your economy in areas where you cannot feasibly expect 100% usage rate of Canadian resources.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's environmental cons, there's Indigenous relation cons.
1,000%.
There's also the pro of facing tariffs and trade war by diversifying our exports and economy that way. Suddenly, we're not facing losses in an entire sector.
Or significantly lessen losses.
Exactly.
Within certain sectors. And Trudeau has also, since the time that we came together and decided on that one, he has began to solidify relations with the European Union.
Yes.
Which is also a very, very good necessary step that, regardless of your political affiliation, I feel like you can't fault the guy.
Yeah, and I know some people were complaining about, like, why isn't Trudeau with the European Union and, like, backing Ukraine? He was there. There are pictures of everyone who was there, and he is there. I think you're just upset because it was organized kind of by height, and he wasn't in the front row, so I guess you couldn't see him. which says more about you than anybody else that you wouldn't look past the front row. But yet, no, he was there. He's still doing stuff. Like, say what you will about Justin Trudeau, his major strength is talking to other foreign leadership.
1000%.
That is, if you can say one strength about him, it is that. And, we all have problems with every single prime minister, except for one. And hopefully you know the episode of the least controversial prime minister. If not, you can listen. But you also have to admit the strengths, and that's his. The other one was, and this happened because Prime Minister Justin Trudeau did come out and say it, and we kind of condensed several things into this.
Yeah.
So again, nothing kind of moved from one side to the other. It moved to be in between because it depends on your perspective.
Absolutely.
So the last one was the double-edged sword of some immigration policies.
Yes.
Some of them. And the reason why we moved it there was because he himself came out and said some things about those policies.
He essentially admitted that they created undue strain on some Canadian housing markets, which, again, not his fault, but you and I and everyone knows how difficult it is, number one, to find lodging, number two, to find affordable lodging.
Yeah.
And regardless of province, even though housing is largely a provincial matter, regardless of housing, everywhere in Canada is feeling the pinch, due in no small part to these policies, in conjunction with a lot of other provincial factors, depending on your province, which we're not going to get into in this. But at the end of the day, in particular with one nation, I think you know which nation we're talking about when we say this. It's one of those things that had to be done from a humanitarian sense.
Yeah. And unfortunately, and this probably was also in combination with the unexpected COVID stuff that happened, et cetera, et cetera. But we're saying that there's a double-edged sword. There were definitely positives, but from a different perspective, there were negatives. So that's why we moved it to between. And then a new one, which is a pro, because, we were kind of hoping to see this, and it's sad we're seeing it at the end, but we're happy to see it at the end. And this is the final change that we made on the pro side. His response to President Trump, both times, #trade war. He did Trump came out and said, we're going to tariff them, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. He's immediately on the media talking in a calm and professional manner, stating facts, stating facts as we saw with last time, these tariffs are going to hurt them more than they're going to hurt us. And we will respond in kind with, very calculated tariffs, very calculated items. I will also say that using it as a kind of moment to allow Canadians to be galvanized as Canadians together, and another smart move. I have no idea what he's like behind the scenes. I think he was way calmer than I could have been on camera after the Cheetos talking about all of that stuff. I don't know how you feel about that. I was
absolutely.
Yeah.
I am incredibly critical of Justin Trudeau.
Oh yes, you are.
To the point that is not reflected in this series whatsoever. I do not like Justin. There's a lot of things about him that just rub me the wrong way. The one thing that does not is his presentation of Canada on an international stage and his ability to be a ringmaster of media. He is fantastic at it. Probably the best we have seen in at least 50 years.
It's his strength. And I also think that it's important that you said that, because I do understand when we get into the fun episodes which are coming, for example, when we rank the sexiness of all of the prime ministers, you might think that we're very biased towards Justin Trudeau. And the truth is we're not. I think I said it in our analyst episode where I was like, I was really expecting to suddenly see this devil moment with Justin Trudeau, and it's just not there. Is he perfect? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I think I remember the Trudeau mania of him coming up, and I was like, you're treating him like the next messiah. No one is going to live up to that hype.
No.
So I do think
he didn't.
No, nobody was going to live up to that hype. Let's be honest. But to treat him like the devil is very extreme and not true.
So-
You can dislike policies. You absolutely can. But to make it seem like he's breaking up the country and is going to burn us all to hell is a gross exaggeration.
So a lot of my issues with people and the way that they treat Justin Trudeau is basically down to them not understanding what level of governance is responsible for what policy.
Yes.
So if you want to say that Justin Trudeau caused the housing crisis, absolutely wrong. That was caused by individual provincial jurisdictions for a multitude of different reasons. We come from the province of Ontario. A lot of what we're seeing right now is due to the Doug Ford loosening of rent control. And thus people can no longer afford a lot of basic homes and housing. That's just Ontario. There are several different reasons, but Justin Trudeau gets a bad rap. And in those cases, there are times when he contributes to the problem. There are other times when he doesn't. The Freedom Convoy, for example, to war against COVID vaccines. Unless you are dealing with out of province, out of state, mandates between provinces are put in place by the Ministry of Health, which is controlled by the provinces. If you are going from Canada, United States, you absolutely have a beef with Justin Trudeau. And by all means, if you go out of state, then please go and blockade Ottawa. Absolutely. But if you are looking to go from Ontario to Quebec, or Ontario to Manitoba, or Ontario to Saskatchewan, or Ontario to British Columbia, or British Columbia to Newfoundland, and you're having issues with vaccines, those are the responsibilities of your individual premiers. If you have a problem like I do with Justin Trudeau about proportional representation, yes, that is his problem. Yes, that is his devil moment for me. But I know, number one, there would be no way he'd do it on a majority government. Absolutely no way. And number two, that is just for me, who knows the extreme impacts of voter apathy that could be alleviated greatly with a switch to proportional representation.
Yeah. And I also want to point out a lot of the people from the quote unquote Freedom Convoy weren't active truckers, which is its own thing. It's its own thing. But yeah, like there's reasons not to like him. We don't want to make it seem like we're treating him like a messiah.
He is far from that.
But we also don't want to make it seem like any calling of him to be like damning the country to hell is correct. It's not. It's a gross exaggeration. Absolutely a gross exaggeration. So that is our little addendum to Justin Trudeau.
Can we talk about some of the other addendums we have to make?
We do. We have to make an addendum to a particular prime minister. Yeah, I know you all are super excited to know what we think of, former Prime Minister Stephen Harper and his hard-on for the Cheeto.
By the way, wholeheartedly support that relationship. If Stephen wants to get citizenship in the United States, my suggestion is to go. And to go now. Please enjoy your love with President Cheeto, and I hope you make tons and tons and tons of evil babies together. In addition, please note that if we have it our way, with Regina Dentata announcing her bid as Prime Minister, please note that the proceeds from any sort of Stephen Harper wedding, gifts, anything like that, will go to support local cat sanctuaries, because as we all know, the most friendly Prime Minister towards cats was Stephen Harper. I mean, look at his face. If that doesn't scream crazy cat lady, then honestly, I don't know what's wrong with you.
And then we have an interesting person who they celebrated their 91st birthday very recently. They celebrated their 95th birthday. And, as all people do, they write an op-ed in a national newspaper.
Absolutely.
And that is exactly what Jean Chrétien did. And I'll be honest with you, that is exactly what I expect of Jean Chrétien. And he's another example of a prime minister where you can say a lot of negatives about him. You really can. But there is one thing you can say about him, which is he is absolutely nationalist.
You will find better prime ministers, but you will not find more entertaining prime ministers.
Mm-hmm. And I just have to say that op-ed was beautiful. Just a great telling President Cheeto to piss off. And I think that can be extended to all of you who think that Canada should be the 51st state. F you. No.
No.
And I have to say this one thing. Mr. P.P. Pelvier Millhouse, because some of the stuff you said, I do not think you deserve to have your name pronounced correctly. Don't think everyone has forgotten what you've said before the Cheeto came out and all of a sudden you're nationalist pro-Canada. No. We remember. We at Death Pixie remember what you were saying. And you know, you can go get your U.S. citizenship at any time and join Stephen Harper in your wonderful throuple with the Cheeto. Because we remember what you were saying. So
let's be honest, the Cheeto would probably make you housing minister, which you've already established that you can do a really great job at. At this point, I'd also like to say to our American friends, we are Canada strong, and what we do to protect our livelihoods. We love each and every one of you, especially those of you who understand why we're doing what we're doing. This is going to hurt. It's going to hurt all of us. It's going to hurt Canadians. It's going to hurt Americans. Please don't take what we do personally. And please, we will try not to make it personal with you. At the end of the day, we're all trying to survive on this big planet. We have to do what is right, not only for ourselves, but for our families, for our friends. I know I've got people in the United States who I'm very, very fond of. I hope they make it through this unscathed and wonderful, because at the end of the day, this is unprecedented. We don't know what's going to happen, but we love and support each and every one of you. Now, your choice in president, I can also say I think you can do better. To any states who want to join the Maple Leaf, my God, we can talk.
yeah.
But
Also, we do support California because we've heard through the grapevine California is considering just being its own country.
Hey, we'd be fine with that. At the end of the day, we all have to live our best lives on this godforsaken rock. And at the end of the day, we love and support each and every one of you. Whether or not you have an opinion that's similar to ours or different than ours, you can disagree with us all you want. The one thing that we will not tolerate in any sense, and I think you can agree with me, Mary, is we're not going to lay down and die. We are Canada strong, we are Canada free, and we fought very, very hard throughout history, as this whole retrospective has shown. We have fought very, very hard throughout history to get the country that we have. It is not perfect, but we are damn proud of it, and we will not have it taken away by the whims of, I'm going to say, a puppet at worst, a toddler at best.
And yeah, like it's not on a personal level. It's a country to country level. And what I will say is, if you are, I hate using the term resistance, but if you are, you know, going out there stateside and making your unrest known and making, you know, your state government, your municipal government, especially your federal government, know that you do not like what's going on, keep it up.
Keep it up.
And we wish you luck, and you have our support with that.
Absolutely. Let us know how we can help.
Yeah. Now, that being said, what were your thoughts on Jean Chrétien's little op-ed?
Like I said before, you will find better prime ministers. You will not find ones that are more entertaining. Jean Chrétien, still, at the end of the day, never ceases to amaze, inspire, and entertain. And if one of the most entertaining prime ministers of our time tells us to remain strong, to remain free, and to tell the Cheeto to go jump off the St. Lawrence River, I, for one, think we should support our prime minister regardless of our political leanings. And honestly, Jean Chrétien, thank you very, very, very much.
It was a piece that only he could have written, and it was perfect. It was timely. I don't know what more can be said, but that's our little addendum. So I hope you stuck with us. You will see that I did update the pro-con list for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on our Instagram. And if you go to the highlights on Instagram, there is one dedicated to the Prime Ministers. And in the beginning, I was using one song, but then we started selecting a different song for each Prime Minister. So hope you enjoy it. There's some that I picked. There's some that Crabsworth picked. There's some that producer Rob picked. So
at the time when producer Rob and I agree on a song, I don't know, like Angels Sing or Babies Die.
Why not both?
I'm not sure which one it is.
So we hope you enjoy that. What you'll be seeing in March are some of our more fun episodes
Yes.
for this project.
Yes.
And then April, we get into the final phase of the project, and we hope you enjoy that part too. We've both kind of pushed ourselves in terms of the writing, the graphics, soon to be the videos on my end, soon to be the voice work on Crabsworth, and
It's gonna be painful.
yeah, but we're very excited, and it's all gonna culminate with one big, I'll say, radio play.
Yeah, it is in the process of being written right now and will be updated as the Canadian leadership race for the Liberal Party gets more solidified and party platforms get published, because we know there's going to be an election. We're not stupid.
We're not. You can
And
tell.
it's going to be, at least from what I've written and what I've shown Miri so far, it's going to be a lot of fun to do this project, and I've had a lot of fun writing it. It's been difficult, but it's also been fun. Also, quickly to shout out, number one, Jerry from Kazakhstan.
Oh my god, Jerry!
And number two, if you're at all politically interested in just going through and trying to find subtext in things, I dare all of you to go to the Conservative Party platform and the Liberal Party platform, because there are people who work on those platforms that, regardless of political affiliation, you will agree do not get paid enough, and that is the boilerplate people. Oh my god, they are geniuses, and it is so much fun to read, and it is so much fun to dissect, knowing what you know, to kind of see, okay, what is a promise that is largely fulfilled? What is a promise that has some seedy underbelly to it? And what are promises that are outright lies?
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
You know, we'll see where this project takes us. We might actually do an analysis of platforms if people are interested.
Please, I'd be more than happy.
Because, people seem to think that I'm the more politically inclined one at this point in the project. I'm like, no. I've just been doing all this like research and amalgamating and stuff. If you want to see somebody who like on the spot will tell you if something is a lie or has already been done or is worded terribly and there is no action plan at the drop of a hat, that would be Crabsworth.
Yeah, and if it isn't me, it's producer Rob.
Yeah, and there is a reason why, in the culmination of our project, Monsieur de Crabsworth is the policy advisor in all this.
Policy penguin for a reason.
Yep, and you'll see very soon, he will slap a bitch.
Oh yeah.
Now then, enjoy the rest of the kind of fun part of our project. We hope you enjoy that. And in April, you get to kind of see what this was all working towards. And May is going to be the big wrap up. But don't worry, we haven't forgotten about our Simpsons retrospective on their experimental era. We still have stuff going on. If you didn't see it, on Valentine's Day, we did release our Stupid Sexy Flanders episode along with a BuzzFeed quiz.
Ooh, we actually did it!
With some of the best stock imagery.
I still don't understand how you got half of those to work.
As well as a very interesting AI imagery.
Oh yeah. Now, to be fair, we support independent artists, but there is a point when you need to make something quickly.
Yeah, and we also just like the unhingedness of it. And remember, as always, we are not monetized. If you hear ads on this, it's from the platform. It's not from us. We don't get the money from that. So that's why we feel it's okay for us to use the AI stuff, because we're not selling it. We're not making money from it. It's just to visualize our unhinged ideas through an unhinged image generator.
Yes. Now, to be fair, if we had the money, we would go the route of independent artists. Please, if you have the money, avoid the AI. Go with an independent artist, because they will have so many avant-garde ideas that can make your brand that much better. Unfortunately, we have a shoestring budget that is running very low on string.
Yeah, it's kind of a no-string budget. Our shoes have no laces.
Oh, mine are Velcro.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Once again, big thank you to Jerry from Kazakhstan. We love you!
We love you, Jerry!
And remember, because we're both going to be remiss if we don't say it, for the love of God, vote.
Yes, please.
For the love of God, go vote.
In Ontario, we had a 45% voter turnout. Let's make sure Canada has more.
Yep.
Hey, this is Trapdoor Crabsworth for Death Pixie. If you liked our content, please like this video and subscribe. And if you want to see more, just check out our links in the description. Do it. Do it or Miri will kill you.